We need to talk about Cyclizar.
It's lizard time. Lizards here, lizards there, lizards everywhere. So recently we were treated with an announcement for the newest Generation 9 Pokemon, Cyclizar. And there's something very familiar about this Pokemon. The connection was quickly made to both Koraidon and Miraidon, who already look similar to each other. It has the iconic dewlap shared by both of these legendary Pokemon, and is even ridden by the common folk of the Paldea region. So what is the connection? Well, first off, one idea is that this could be a pre-evolution to both Koraidon and Miraidon, making their connection a direct branched evolution. We did see this with Cosmog being a shared pre-evolution to
like
both
Cosmog,
Solgaleo and Lunala, and Cosmog was even revealed in the trailer before release day, but it looked different enough to not immediately spoil the surprise. Though I really wonder if they would do this again. There's also the fact that Cyclizar is more common. The Pokemon website tells us, this Pokemon has lived in many households in the Paldea region since ancient times. It has a mild disposition and people riding Cyclizar are a very common sight. It appears Cyclizar doesn't mind being ridden because the warmth of a rider helps stave off the cold. And that gives some credence to this being something like a present form of both Koraidon and Miraidon. Both of these legendary Pokemon embody themes of past and future, tradition and progression.
I thought we were gonna get the legendaries first.
Directly from the past and future, respectively.
You think now we're gonna get the other one, and then we have to evolve it?
Present day makes it seem possible. We also need to know exactly how common the legendary Pokemon themselves are. While seeing multiple of them in multiplayer is expected, and heck even shown in the trailers, there could be a chance that in canon they're more accessible where they come from. So let's say that both legendary Pokemon originate from different time periods. Maybe Koraidon is from a time and place where people and Pokemon were closer, so it evolved to be perfect for riding bareback. In the present day, these Pokemon have evolved to be smaller, even more common, and possibly more detached from humans, though they're still perfect for riding, but they need a saddle in order to do so. In the future, these Pokemon evolve into
so we're gonna have to get a saddle to ride it?
Once again becoming optimized for riding. Alternatively, we could say there's only one or a handful of these legendary lizards. Let's say that in the past there was maybe one or two Koraidon who serve as the ancestors for Cyclizar in the present day, and in the future maybe most Cyclizar have gone extinct.
Maybe they're created by the professors. You're right. That's a good guess right there, Obi.
This really depends on two things. One, whether Koraidon and Miraidon are really from the past and future, and two, how many of each there are in canon. Most box art legendary Pokemon are meant to be the only ones in existence. The exception would be Solgaleo and Lunala because we're shown this in-game, and potentially Lugia, but the jury's still out on that one. Though with the role that Koraidon and Miraidon seem to be playing, I think it's possible they're not necessarily gods of a certain aspect of the Pokemon world, and so are a little more common but still very powerful and legendary in their own right. I think the existence of Cyclizar raises more questions because it's pretty obviously meant to remind us of the legendary Pokemon, and not just in a way to emphasize how special these Pokemon and by extension the protagonists are, compared to everybody else, but there's got to be some kind of physical connection. But if by chance we get some kind of racing mode in the game, then Cyclizar's existence makes sense mechanically. We as a protagonist get to have our legendary lizard and the NPCs
racing quest or something?
Lizard. But I still really like Cyclizar. It's pretty neat seeing this concept
so
of the
it's sort of an evolution, but not exactly.
Pokemon, and I love reptile Pokemon, so getting one more is always welcome. Its signature move is also pretty cool as well, basically just combining Baton Pass and Substitute. But an interesting meta perspective on this is that this Pokemon was revealed during the World Championships and was revealed with a bunch of other details concerning competitive battles. If this does end up being a pre-evolution to legendary Pokemon, that by extension makes it a legendary Pokemon. Because even Cosmog and Cosmoem were restricted from VGC formats because they were technically legendary Pokemon that evolve into Solgaleo and Lunala. So that makes me lean more heavily into the idea that these Pokemon aren't connected as an evolution, but more so something similar to Manaphy and Fione or Diancie and Carbink. Very similar, connected by lore, but not by evolution. Heck, Koraidon and Miraidon could just exist in present day just as mutated very special forms of Cyclizar. But let me know your ideas because this does not appear to be as cut and dry as a simple pre-evolution.
That's a good point too, Granny Grizz.
Won't get the answer until release
day, could be a Cyclizar that you throw